All right, I'm here at the bar with Lawrence. We have successfully gotten a really crappy ute through inspection.
Mission accomplished.
Celebratory beer. We're going to take this opportunity to just talk about Australian car culture. So while we're here on this porch for the next 15 minutes, Lawrence is just going to point out some cars and what they mean and who tends to own them and just general Australian car culture things.
Sure. We can do that.
All right, what do we got there?
Alright, so there's your, single cab Land Cruiser, probably 4.5 litre twin turbo V8. You can tell that one's from the mines. You've got the rear lights, repeater lights, you've got a yellow light on top. You've got stripes as well. So he probably does something to do with the mines.
So a lot of mines around here.
Yes, there's a lot of gold mining. Out west, there's also a lot of copper and silver and things like that.
So is the Land Cruiser the mine truck, like the mine vehicle?
Yeah.
And it's a 70
Hiluxes
series
as well. Yeah, 70 series. You often get stuff that's called mine spec, and so basically manufacturers, like wheel manufacturers and stuff, will make stuff that's cheap but durable. Like Sunraysia rims are basically called mine spec rims because they're just cheap steelies. They're nice and strong, because mines, they want strong stuff, they don't want to spend the earth either. And yeah, there's a whole industry around that. Often based out of WA because they've got the real concentration of iron ore mining. So yeah, a lot of stuff's actually designed over there for mining.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So a big thing here is bull bars, huh?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of kangaroos out here and they cause a lot of damage. So here's a nice big tough bar. See the side rails as well to reinforce it on a Prado.
Wow.
So yeah, that's not unusual.
So are those side rails to protect the fenders or is it just reinforcement for the front?
Bit of both.
Okay.
Bit of both. Kangaroos will attack you from all sides. You'll find often, particularly with Toyotas and a lot of other SUVs and utes, they come just standard with bull bars from the factory, but then people will often go for a bigger one, 5 posts or nice heavy bar with those brush rails that help reinforce it. Typical hunting ute, so you've got a spotlight on the roof for getting the eye shine. You've got some big aerials, you've got dog cage on the back, so there's a good chance they do probably pig hunting. So you use bull mastiffs, things like that. They'll grab the pig by the ear and you'll go and get them with a knife.
What?
Or you'll use the dogs to flush the pigs out of really thick scrub and shoot them with a gun. Depends on where you are and what you're doing.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a typical sort of setup for those kind of guys.
Huh. So this is the heart of downtown Dubbo, isn't it?
Macquarie Street, the main street. Named after one of the first governors in New South Wales, Governor Macquarie.
We're gonna do a little lap of downtown, and we're gonna do a little car spotting.
See what we find.
What do we have here, actually? Is this a... What's the brand there?
ASV. We're a Chinese brand.
Chinese brand, huh?
Yeah.
SAIC, oh yeah. That looks very Raptor-ish.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of you find are actually older designs, like they might be the previous Isuzu, essentially, largely copied, but they copied your homework.
Ooh. Downtown Dubbo. Let's see what we have here in terms of shops. Oh, look at this 4-door little small truck.
Courier.
It's a Ford Courier, huh?
Yep.
So that's like our...
based on a Mazda.
It's like our Ranger. Oh, it's based on a Mazda, huh?
Yep. Yeah, so generally their Mazda engine's 4-cylinder, like 2.6 litre, unless they're diesel. Depending on what.
Ooh.
The only clothing shop to go to?
Yes. Great spot. The only clothing shop.
There are more, but...
They sell only Hawaiian shirts, as you can see.
That's where you want to go if you want like a $10 shirt.
Oh, look at this.
Pretty standard sort of Hilux. So you got a winch, bull bar, light bar, top and bottom.
So is this a custom tray there?
Yeah, definitely.
Look at that bed.
Probably done by one of the local welding works. There's a lot of people who do custom trays as their business. So yeah, so you've got the big toolboxes on the back, and often there's under tray storage as well. This one doesn't have it. It's not unusual also to have PVC pipe in the back to hold some water as well.
TC boxes. trade's choice.
There's a whole industry around this sort of stuff.
Look at that. Is that welded onto the...
No,
No,
I'd
it's
say
not.
be riv nuts.
Okay.
Bolted. You see these wheels? We call them Sunraysias. These are probably one of the most common wheels for off-roading. They're just cheap steelies.
Huh.
A lot of mine vehicles will have those as well. So a lot of people call them mine spec wheels.
Right. Huh. Mine spec.
Yep. You can get them as a blank as well, and then drill them to your stud pattern. You get them nearly every offset you want.
Okay, so here is what looks like a Ford Fusion, but is a Ford Falcon.
This is the Falcon, so if I'm not mistaken, this is an FGX, which is the very last Falcon. So 2015, 2016, when they finished production, Holden then finished up production in 2017 with the Commodore.
Okay.
So there's the last of the breed. So this one has Barra, which is your XR6.
This is the final Falcon.
So yeah, a couple levels up from base, but you know, other than that, it's a relatively standard Falcon.
So that Barra engine, that has a Barra engine. So this is just a family car, right?
Yeah, this one's been driven by a teenager by the looks, because you got your red P plate. So how it works with the license system here, you can start driving at 16 with a licensed supervisor in the passenger seat. You've got to do 120 hours of driving and then pass the test. Then you get your red P plates or provisional plates. You get those when you turn 17 and pass the tests. You're allowed a maximum of 90 kilometres an hour. You can only have one passenger with you unless they're family after 10 p.m. if I'm correct. I could be wrong on that. You're basically restricted from performance vehicles. It used to be a lot worse when I was growing up. Part of the reason why I like having sixes is I wasn't allowed any V8s or any turbos at all.
Think about that. There was a law saying that if you were under 18,
Really under 20.
if you're under 20, you couldn't drive a car, or I assume that you couldn't at all.
No.
You couldn't drive a car with a V8 engine or a turbo. Think about that.
Unless they were diesel, that's it.
That is crazy that there is a law in place that says no V8s, no turbo. I actually like that because it shows that Australia knows so much about cars that the average person is expected to know what a V8 is and a turbo.
Correct. It's the same thing with motorcycles here though too. You go from your L plates, your Ps, your red Ps, your green Ps, and your full license. And same thing, power to weight. So if you're a lightish guy, you're stuck with 250cc on your Ls and your red Ps. Then you can go maybe a 600 on your greens, and then you're unlimited once you're on your full license. Same sort of thing.
Look at this. Can you believe it? For many years, the typical Ford Fusion car of Australia had one of the greatest engines of all time, the Barra. And an engine that has potential to hold close to probably over 1,000 horsepower if built properly.
They're not that far off the 2J in the, can be very easily modified to make high triple digit, low 4-digit horsepower. Like valve springs, a couple of other mods, maybe head studs. Yeah, not far off.
Yep.
And you've got that extra capacity of another litre, which does help too in making that power.
Dude, the idea of the country being filled with just regular passenger cars that have engines that can make 1,000 horsepower is incredible.
Yeah. Here's another one.
Is this the previous?
So this is a couple generations back. Well, same body, but a couple of models back. This would be a VA by the looks.
Also a Barra?
Probably 2004, 2005.
Is that the Barra as well?
Yep. Yeah, it'd be a Barra. You can tell if it's got a V8 because they've got the hump, because the modular 5.4 has rather large heads, and even the Coyote does as well. So generally the XR8s will have a bulged bonnet. So there's another custom tray. LED taillights are pretty common on those custom trays.
The custom tray culture here is amazing. Some of the stuff they do.
Oh yeah, a lot of people build their own. My brother did.
Oh, gazebo.
Rotunda.
Okay,
That's what
rotunda.
we call it.
Oh, that's fair.
Well,
Well, then that's what it is, because I'm here. Let's have a look at this nice, thriving town. On a Monday night, I gotta say, there's more going on than I would have expected an absolute ghost
Still got
town.
a population of nearly 50,000. So, there's always going to be a few people out, I suppose. So, something you never got. Commodore wagon,
Ooh,
or called a sports wagon.
look at that.
Same as the G8 and things you guys got, but wagon form.
Wow. Could you get a V8 in that?
Yeah, not uncommon. That one's a 6 by the looks.
We got trays everywhere.
See underslung toolboxes?
Oh yeah, toolboxes there underneath.
Yep.
Look at that.
Pull that tray in the rear as well. Another one over there. Oh, I forgot the Dream Festival's on.
And this is where we consumed the legendary HSP.
Halal snack pack.
The halal snack pack, an incredible delight. Oh, look at that. Look at that tray.
Yeah, yeah.
Are those, what are those dog kennels or what?
Can't tell from here, they might be. Might be in the rear, might be a toolbox in the front.
And what is that vehicle?
That's a Triton, so you can see the angle now with the aftermarket tray.
The Triton.
Quite significant. The reason why is it gives you a slightly better seating position in the rear. They're a bit more comfortable for passengers.
That's a Proton from Malaysia. Is that right?
No.
No.
Who makes
that's Triton?
Triton, Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi Triton, right?
There's one there with the regular tray on it. So that same generation. So yeah, they're a bit more comfortable for passengers. They're not as good for towing. They do have issues with cracking because the angle, the wheelbase is a bit wrong for the chassis if you put a lot of weight on them. They are known to crack. But if you've got a ute and you're not really towing or carrying heavy loads, well, you know, it's better for your passengers in the back.
There's the town library.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. A car that's not in perfect shape.
Yeah. All I do right here, the sun destroys the boot coat. Absolutely destroys it. So you've got, you know, nice easy spacing, these times straight down.
So what do you mean by, okay, so you say the word tradie a lot.
Yep. So yeah, just a tradesperson, builder, carpenter, bricklayer, whichever. So yeah, this guy could likely be a carpenter or a builder because they want to put probably a tall ladder on the back. If they're an electrician, they'd probably have taller toolboxes to fit all of their things. Yeah, aftermarket bull bar, TJM. I think you can get those in the States as well, some of their accessories. So that's what's called a brush bar. So it helps, you know, going through the scrub. It also reinforces the bull bar if you hit something. Because what you'll find is you hit a groove, it'll flip this back into the bonnet. So this adds a little bit more rigidity to it.
That looks like a Chevy SS.
So it looks like that one's a Statesman or a Caprice, I'd say. So yeah, luxury model.
Huh. Oh, it's the old jail.
This is the old Dubbo jail. So Dubbo, even back in the day, was probably the largest town for, you know, hundreds of kilometres, especially west. And so yeah, prisoners or convicted or pre-convicted people would be taken here, then sentenced at the courthouse. They hung quite a few people here as well, back before World War I, and we eventually outlawed the death penalty. So, what a historic site.
Huh. Look at this art installation. Children frolicking in downtown Dubbo.
Ironically, this is the place where they actually buried a lot of the condemned prisoners that they hanged. So they actually, this used to be an old bank building here, like a state bank. They've demolished it because they're starting to do archaeological work here to try and identify all of the people who died at the jail. Because some of them, they don't know who they are.
Anyway, what he's saying is, continue frolicking, kids. All is well.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not haunted at all.